Most people don't realize that award season starts 6 months before the actual Oscars ceremony, with the very calculated and strategic placement of movies at 4 major fall film festivals: Venice, Telluride, Toronto, and New York. The reason that people get so hyped up on the film festival circuit is because the past 11 Best Picture Academy Award winners premiered at one of these festivals before their awards season runs. Last year, Best Picture champ The Shape of Water, Best Actress and Best Supporting Actor winner Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Best Actor winner Darkest Hour, and Lady Bird made strong showings at these locations before their successful Oscar runs. Other films that made festival circuit debuts in years prior are Manchester by the Sea, Moonlight, La La Land, Arrival, August Osage County, Spotlight, Brooklyn, The Danish Girl, Sicario, Room, Birdman, Foxcatcher, Wild, The Imitation Game, 12 Years a Slave, Gravity, Nebraska, Philomena, Lion, and Whiplash, and those are only titles of the last 5 years. Basically, if you're wondering what films are going to be big awards contenders and critical darlings in the fall and winter, you look at what studios are positioning at these key festivals. Universal is playing hardball this year with First Man, starring Ryan Gosling as Neil Armstrong and directed by La La Land Helmer Damien Chazelle, will get a very respectable world premiere as the opening feature at Venice. The Warner Brothers Star's Bourne remake, starring Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, will compete out of competition there, raising a few eyebrows as to whether or not they're concerned about its critical appeal. The highly anticipated Netflix and Alfonso Cuarón Mexico City family drama about the Corpus Christi massacre, Roma, is one of only 2 films this year that will hit every major fest. The other film playing all 4 is visionary Olivier Assayas' French comedy nonfiction, starring the incomparable Juliette Binoche. Roma is especially the one to pay attention to. In general, Netflix is not playing around when it comes to its Oscar contenders this year. They've got the new Coen Brothers anthology piece, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, premiering in Venice, Paul Greengrass's latest endeavor, 22 July, premiering in Toronto, and Orson Welles' finally completed The Other Side of the Wind, a project the streaming service funded to finish, playing Venice and Telluride. Fox Searchlight and Yorgos Lanthimos' The Favorite, a period drama starring Emma Stone, Olivia Colman, and Rachel Weisz, will also play the 2 simultaneously, along with Amazon and Mike Leigh's Peterloo, about the political uprising that led to the massacre of 1810. Amazon's also got Luca Guadagnino's Suspiria, a dark and intriguing story about witches set in a dance academy with Dakota Johnson and Tilda Swinton, and Beautiful Boy, starring Steve Carell and Timothée Chalamet. The studio is hoping to repeat its Manchester by the Sea type success from a couple years ago, but they'll have to get through Fox Searchlight first. Last year, Juggernaut's The Shape of Water and Three Billboards were both on their roster. This time around, they've got Robert Redford's final performance in David Lowery's The Old Man and the Gun, also starring Sissy Spacek, and the Marielle Heller-directed Melissa McCarthy Oscar hopeful Can You Ever Forgive Me, which is an unusually serious turn for the actress. Annapurna Studios is also doing the Telluride Toronto two-hander, with Karen Kusama's Nicole Kidman vehicle Destroyer and one of their other big contenders, Barry Jenkins' sophomore feature If Beale Street Could Talk, a 1970s drama set in Harlem about the effects of a false rape accusation. That will premiere at Toronto before its poignant debut at the Apollo Theater for the New York Fest. The Telluride two-hander will also be done by Columbia Pictures and their big player this year, Jason Reitman's The Frontrunner, starring Hugh Jackman. 20th Century Fox and Steve McQueen's Widows, starring Viola Davis, will only make a showing at Toronto. The studio's other big get this year is the Freddie Mercury biopic Bohemian Rhapsody, starring Rami Malek, which will not do the festival rounds, but will plug away for a strong December awards release, much like Annapurna's final hopeful, Backseat, starring Christian Bale as Dick Cheney. Over the next few weeks, the hopes and dreams for a lot of movies and their campaigns will either soar or completely go kaput, but you never know until we get the receptions from people who see these movies, and we'll know probably within a month what the big ones are going to be this year.